Hey guys, it's Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. We are playing Stampin' Connect 4 in the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social this week. This is the Connect 4 board. You can print this from our group. The link is in the description below if you're watching on YouTube, and it's also below the embedded video on the blog if you're watching there. Join the craft social. We have so much fun. So we're playing Connect 4. You can print the board. It's a PDF file. Take it to your craft room. The object of the game is to make a summer project connecting any 4 squares: diagonal, horizontal, vertical, or 4 corners. This is my project. I connected treat bag, use a crunchy and soft. If you hang out around the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social, you know that means crunchy embellishment is like pearls or rhinestones or sequins or gems or trinkets or beads, and a soft embellishment is ribbon or fiber. So ribbon, twine, lace, fabric. So treat bag, use a crunchy and soft, ice cream, and use an embossing folder. This is my Connect 4 project. This is what we're going to make today. All right, so for my first box in the Stampin' Connect 4, it's treat bags. So I am using these ombre gift bags from Stampin' Up. They are a package of 20 gift bags in the new in colors. There's 5 new in colors. You get 4 of each in the pack. So there's polished pink, fresh freesia, pale papaya, soft succulent, and evening evergreen. Aren't those cool? We're going to use that treat bag to make the base of our gift card holder. I've got pale papaya on this sample and petal pink on this sample. And we're going to use the soft succulent on this one. So you want to start from the front of the bag and fold up the top until this little pinked edge of the bag just covers this bottom seam. So once you got that, then you're going to go ahead and burnish that with a bone folder. And that makes the pockets for your gift card or cards. If you wanted to, you can put more than one card in the pocket. So the front pocket is the gift card, and then the back pocket, we've got a little note where you could sign and make a personalized greeting. Oh my, cute. All right, so let's put these guys aside for just a second, and we're going to add some Designer Series paper to the front of the bag. This is Pale Papaya Designer Series paper. It's from the In Colors 6x6 Designer Series paper collection. It's 4 3/4 by 2.5. And let's go ahead and adhere with a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. And now from the Connect 4 board, we're going to use a soft and a crunchy embellishment. So my soft embellishment is this woven ribbon. It's pale papaya and just gorgeous. It looks so good with the other in colors, plays so nicely. It ties beautifully. You have to be careful with this ribbon. The weave will stretch a little bit if you handle it rough. So just kind of be gentle when you're tying this ribbon. And we're going to just wrap around the whole treat bag and tie a bow off to the left side. All right, see that gorgeous bow? Now let's cut away from the spool, trim off the excess, and you'll see that that's what made, there's our first pocket and second pocket. All right, next step, let's go ahead and make the little tab for our pullout. The pullout is basic white cardstock. We cut the second largest scallop contours dies. So it's this one with the little pierced edge. This piece of Designer Series paper is 3 1/4 by 1 3/4, and we're gonna cut each end with a dovetail using the tailored tag punch. I don't know what I'll ever do if this punch retires. I can't do a decent dovetail without it now. Then I like to take this piece and I'm going to roll it and soften the fibers because we're going to fold it. But have you ever had, we're going to fold it over the top here to make a little pull tab. But have you ever had a designer series paper crack when you folded it? The white crackly lines show through on the designer series paper where the fold is. If you've ever had that happen, this is a way to stop that. If you just use your bone folder, run the paper gently between your thumb and the bone folder, and just soften the fibers before you go ahead and fold. Then I'm going to fold it the wrong way first also. That also means that any stretching, any cracking that might still happen even though we've softened those paper fibers is going to happen on the inside of the fold. And then we'll flip it around to the pattern that we want out and work with a bone folder. Now we need a little bit of glue and I'm going to go right along the dovetail there on both sides. And then we're going to add it to the upper right corner, making kind of a little pull tab. Very decorative, little cute little pull tab, of course. Now next up, this is completely optional. You can do this if you want to. I've got a little white sewing machine next to me. White is the brand. It's a white classic 312. I bought it a million years ago. But I'm going to stitch right across the top here where the designer series paper is attached to the white card. All right, so I've got just a fun little forward back stitch, just a little detail. I really love the texture that it brings. If you didn't want to stitch, you could also put a couple of staples, or you could take a ruler, pierce along the ruler at like every 1/8 of an inch, and then just draw across that pierced line with a white gel pen, and that would give you a faux stitched look. All right, so time to do some stamping. Let me put our pieces aside here for just a minute. All right, so we're gonna make our little ice cream cone and popsicle now. Here's our little popsicle inside. I've got some polished pink and pale papaya right here. We're gonna do everything with a second generation. So over on the side, I've got my small grid paper. Gonna ink up the top of the popsicle and stamp off. And then we'll stamp that right on the insert. Give the ink a second to transfer. Oh, so pretty. And then the bottom half of the popsicle, we're gonna do that with pale papaya. And pale papaya is kind of a light color anyway. So when we stamp off, we're just gonna touch the paper. And then these overlap to make a pretty rainbow pop. Isn't that great? Now, a little bit more detail. I've got the speckle. This is also from the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. I didn't show you that, did I? Let me get that and I'll show you. That's the little speckle there. Give it some detail. All of these images, everything we're using today comes from Stampin' Up! Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. It's an 18-piece photopolymer stamp set with distinctive style stamps. Now the stick for our popsicle is crumb cake. And the details on our popsicle stick is soft suede. Isn't that just super cute? And the treat yourself greeting, that's also soft suede. Love that. All right, now that the inside is done, let's slide those guys over, get some cardstock, and we're going to do the outside. The outside is going to have this gorgeous ice cream cone. So we're going to need 3 scoops in a cone, and I like to work with my punch facing upside down and that way when I do my punching, the orientation is so much easier. You can see which way you've got to bring the paper into the punch, and then better determine which way to stamp the image. It saves you a lot of time. All right, we're going to take our soft succulent, stamp off, and make a scoop. Now the soft succulent is going to be our top scoop, so we're going to do the sprinkles on the top scoop and soft succulent, but we're going to do them full strength. So there's our top scoop. We'll set that aside and let it dry for a second. Now we need our cone. Our cone is going to be crumb cake, and you'll see that it's going to go in. We're going to put the paper in from the left side. The cone needs to go upside down and a little bit at an angle for easiest punching. Now the details on the cone, we're going to stamp with soft suede over the crumb cake. So cute. And let's clean off the scoop. I've got my chamois here. We're going to change from the soft succulent ink to pale papaya, so we want to make sure it's really clean. I'm going to stamp off over here. Make sure that my stamp's clean. I don't want to bring any of that green into my papaya because then I'll make brown. And ink up pale papaya, stamp off, and then stamp it upside down. And then, because we're going from pale papaya to polished pink and they're both warm colors, we can just stamp off the pale papaya. No need to clean in between those two. And then we're going to stamp that one second generation also, so stamp off in between. And there's our last scoop. Oh, we have one more thing to stamp. I have right here already cut a 1 3/8 inch circle. We did that ahead of time using the Layering Circles die set. It's the second from the smallest. We're going to stamp You Melt My Heart with soft suede. All right, now that's all our stamping. Let's go ahead and clear away the ink pads so I don't punch an ice cream scoop into an ink pad. All right, time to get punching. We're going to line up our cone. See how much easier it is and how much less waste when you take into consideration the way the punch is laid out before you stamp. If you just stamp willy-nilly, then you got to try and get it in there. And these punches are a great way to use up scraps too. Use the little strips that you have. Let's assemble our ice cream cone and give it a second to dry. We're going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue, and we want to put just a little tiny bit on the very bottom of the scallops there, and that'll glue this first scoop to the cone. Then we'll do a little bit more, and then our second scoop, and then a little bit more, and we can then add our third scoop. Now our ice cream cone can have just a second to dry and firm up. Let all those pieces become one layer. Cute! I want to do a little bit of embossing because our Connect 4 said use an embossing folder. So we're going to grab the little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I've got the dots folder from the Checks and Dots combo pack. We're going to add our label inside the folder. This is polished pink, and we're going to pop that down on the plate number 1. Then we'll put the plate number 3 on top and give it a crank. Look at that sweet little dot pattern. Isn't that fantastic? I love this folder. Let me show you where this label came from. We did cut that label ahead of time. I did that one using the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and that is this second largest label from that collection. Got a crumb cake cut out. That one we did ahead of time. From Tasteful Labels dies, it's the larger, as my son likes to call it, so not the smaller, but the larger pointy circle. Got my You Melt My Heart greeting. Let's go ahead and adhere the circle to the pointy circle. And then we're going to get really crazy with the dimensionals. If you're going to mail this gift card holder, you might want to use less layers of dimensionals, but I imagine these being handed out. And we're going to adhere the pointy circle to the polished pink label. Oh, I really love that color combination. Isn't that pretty? Soft suede, crumb cake, polished pink. Now to our gift card holder, we're going to make sure we have plenty of room for that ice cream. Let me just slide my bow even a little bit more off the side and give it a tilt. All right, it's gonna go right of center. We need more dimensionals. I'm gonna go with some bigger ones here. Hear that right of center, but centered top to bottom in the designer series paper. Now when we add our ice cream cone, the bottom 2 scoops, this part of the cone is going to be on top of your polished pink that's already bumped up. So what I want to do here is add some dimensionals right up at the top, and then we'll add some on the cone, and that should work. When I add the dimensionals on the bag here instead of on the back of the ice cream, I know that I'm not going to go past the edge here and glue my bag shut. So that's the reason for putting the dimensionals on both the ice cream cone and on the bag itself. Can adhere that down. Look how cute! You melt my heart. All right, here's our sample. Let's get that back in here. Now the Connect 4 required that you use both a soft and a crunchy embellishment. So for my crunchy embellishment, I'm going to use these Genial Gems. I love these new colors with a little glitter inside these Genial Gems. That's Pale Papaya and I believe Mint Macaron, but it looks great with our soft succulent. Let's go ahead and add a few little gems on here. I'm going with 5. The eye likes odd numbers, so 3 off the top and 2 kind of down the cone. And then let's get back in here. Here's our little tags. Here's another color combination. We can put the pink one with the Pale Papaya, and we could put the, let's see, how would that work? And then we can put the soft succulent with the polished pink. And then we can put the Pale Papaya with the soft succulent, kind of mix and match them. I'm putting them in the back pocket of the gift card holder, and then we can go ahead and add a little gift card in there in the front pocket, or you can put 2. It's got plenty of room. Maybe somebody in your life that you love has got a really sweet tooth. There they are. If you've got any questions about the project, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. To shop Stampin' Up 24/7, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.